Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of my Seattle Sea Cattle franchise mode series. I'm sorry that I'm having to begin this episode in such a tone, but I really do feel like it's fitting. It wouldn't be great to be like, hey guys, what's up? Toogie here, back again. Yeah, positivity and happiness and something. No, it's not. It's really not. We lost to the Winnipeg Jets in Game 7 of the conference finals. And now we have to look to move on with... I don't even care about the reason. Let's just get to the draft. Now we have to move on and try and deal with the fact that our team is another year older. That we still have a distinct lack of prospects coming up through the pipeline. And that our best chance to win the cup was all for naught as we lost to the eventual winners, the Winnipeg Jets. I'm so used to saying the Tampa won the cup. I'm not saying that I recorded this after the Ottawa series from yesterday. That episode would have been up yesterday. You get the point. It is not a happy, fun time. It is not a happy, fun time in Seattle right now. Of course, you already know what the Jets winning team looks like, so that's good. San Jose's reign of terror is over, as I will scroll through the award winners. For the hell of it, Renberg won the Conn Smythe. Shocker. We'll just scroll through the awards because it's not like you're going to notice any of the winners anyway. I mean, it's all generated names at this point. We didn't take home any hardware, not even a conference final award because you know. We'll snap out of this for the moment, but well, no, not for the moment. We'll snap out of this eventually. Don't know when. Who knows? Maybe we get a game changer at the draft. Maybe somehow, possibly. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. No greens. Do we have any greens? Oh, Lockhart went up by a point. That's good. He developed to a ridiculous extent, and now he caps out. DeSantis, a little bit of improvement for Kovalchuk. LeClaire as well. Matthews. You know, you can see the greens. You can see what's going on here with this franchise. I'm not over it. It's been a couple of days. I am very much not over what happened in the last episode. I thought that somehow, finally, we entered the playoffs thinking we were going to get destroyed. And then somehow, some way, as it looked like we had a chance to beat Winnipeg, I fell for it. I got my hopes up, and now here we are. I realized I didn't show you guys the player stats. You can look at that on your own time. We pretty much all know who disappointed to ridiculous extents. We know who disappointed. We know who problem members of this team are. Again, the problem is, unless we go with the rule of being allowed to trade 1-for-1 for the best player available, we're stuck as we lose a whole bunch of depth guys. It's not a big deal. We're stuck with members of this core who continue to underperform. Come playoff time, we are stuck in this constant loop of not having decent enough prospects to draft that can really help out. Hell, we can't even get decent enough depth players, really. So, wow, Werenski finished with almost 900 career points. That's insane. Oh, boy, and there you go. Laine better than Eichel, confirmed. And Dylan Strome better than Nico Hischier, confirmed, apparently. How the hell did that happen? Let's get to the draft. Let's see how this goes. Maybe, somehow, some way, we get some help. I'm certainly not expecting it as a franchise-level player. Goes number 1. Certainly not expecting. I'll show you guys the top 5 picks of the draft just for the hell of it. There you go. Let's get to our pick. 29th overall. Let's see if we have anybody here worth a damn. Hainsey. Would have been nice. Not going to happen. Falk. Greg Falk, the goaltender, is our first that's eligible. Devin Lowe, unfortunately, is not. Again, Spokane, Seattle, Tri-City, and Everett. Cantor is shit, not that we wanted him anyway. Crosby, no. Barron, no. Johnson, okay, well. Pronger, nope. Alright, well this is good. This is good. There's nobody, apparently. Spencer Cons, he's gonna be a game changer for us. Georgievich, no. Waters, no. Tan, nope. 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 The worst part of this series is that I expected it to be nothing but these players, you know, just nobody eligible for us the entire time. But at certain points, it actually gave us some half-decent players. And now it's just misery. We'll take a look at the undrafteds later. So we have 3 players marked. Our first pick is going to be the goaltender from the Spokane Chiefs, Greg Falk. If he's medium starter, he should have a half-decent starting overall. He could be decent, and the overall is lower than I would have thought, but picking up a medium starter goaltender, not really the end of the world. I'm okay with it, but it's not exactly what we needed, obviously. From there, it's just straight downhill now, isn't it? Isn't it? We will go forward with the Cons and Simons picks. Maybe Spencer Cons a high bottom 6 somehow. He's not, and that's certainly not going to help. Who knows? Maybe there's a mythical, magical steal of epic proportions coming up. Probably not. We will take Simon, and then from there we'll take a look around. So, I mean, compared to some of the other drafts that we've had recently, this actually isn't too bad, which just kind of goes to show how bad it's been. But let's take a look outside of the scheduled to be drafted players. So in terms of sorting this out, what about Slychuk? Is available on Tri-City. We'll at least mark him. What about Darby? Not. Okay. So for goalies, there's at least one more. Defensively, what about Addison? No, Ben Addison's not eligible. What about the enforcer, Sore? Not eligible. Damn, have we had an enforcer on this team at all? If we have, I'd change him to a defensive D-man, but still, you get the point. Is there anybody here? Anybody at all? Again, these high AHL top 2s never work out. They're going to be like medium 7s at best, apparently. It just never really works out. Although, like, if Tallinder... Actually, Tallinder with that overall might be worth taking. Kootenay and Moose Jaw. Anybody here? Fawcett, no. Steckel, no. Cunning, no. So I might take Tallinder. Again, just out of necessity. Because we need somebody else. For unknowns, do we have anybody at all? Bonks is eligible. Colborne is not. Canone is not. Bartlett is not. What about Boro? No. So we have 2 defensemen that look maybe promising unless we wanted to go for the exact top 2. We shouldn't. We might as well just risk it. So 2 defensemen and a goaltender. Do we have anybody forward-wise that could help turn this around? Ramjag Singh, no. Anthony, no. Copeland, no. Scarlett, no. What about unknowns? Bilesma, Foss, Friesen, Love. This is awful. We got a lot of wingers, though. Burke, no. Thorburn. The worst part of this is, too, it's a lot of looking around for players who are just going to disappoint and not be factors anyway. Left wing, what about Gardner? No. McLean, no. Copestalls, yes. So we got Brendan Copestalls. Moses is a no. We got a lot of unknowns from here. It's not looking all that good, admittedly. Sarno, Gomez, Morris, that was a crazy amount of lag. Addison, no. Pittis, no. Paco, no. Again, you can't give me an enforcer. You can't give me a guy who at least has a good name. Spike Battaglia, that helps. I need to call a timeout before I look at centers, of course. So We'll do that. We have 4 players marked so far, so that covers us through, what, the rest of the draft? Unless there are some centers that are somehow eligible. Let's take a look. Again, we'll start with Donnelly. No. Jenks. No. So it would have to be unknowns. So we pretty much, we have Fitzmaurice. If we didn't want to go, all right, so we have Fitzmaurice, we have Matvechuk. Take a look. Fitzmaurice is 18, Matvechuk is 18. Pritchett, anybody else aside from Fitzmaurice and Matvechuk? I'm going to double check the players that we have pinned as well. I think it's just going to be those 2 at this rate. It's what it looks like. So for centers, it's just Fitzmaurice and Matvechuk. So let's take a look at who we have pinned here. So Battaglia is 18, Bonks is 18. I was trying to see if there are any 20-year-olds that could really help win us over. So we're going to take Tallinder, Slychuk, and Kopstalls, and then we'll worry about everyone else. So let's take Xavier Tallinder, 20-year-old from the Everett Silvertips. Could be a half-decent overall. It's just really what's that potential going to be? Probably medium 7th at best. Medium 7th and a 62. Well, it was worth a shot, but we kind of knew what we were getting there now, didn't we? He'll be an AHL staple. Who else do we have? We'll take Slychuk and Kopstalls next. So Slychuk, the 18-year-old from Tri-City Americans, is the next pick. Low fringe. Medium fringe would have been outstanding, so I guess we can't be all that upset. And then the one other not completely unknown pick, we're going to take the grinder Brendan Kopstalls from the Tri-City Americans, who is hot garbage. So we have one complete unknown selection to follow up upon what we've already drafted. I'm going to go mark those 2 centers, and we will we'll take it from there. So it was, what, Fitzmaurice and Matvechuk? Rich Fitzmaurice and Kip Matvechuk. So, who's it going to be? Probably not the defenseman. I'm going to take him out of the list already. We're going to go with a forward. So here, let me just change that. So we have Spike Battaglia, has the best name by far. Rich Fitzmaurice or Kip Matvechuk. I'm going to go off of name, and I'm going to go for Spike Battaglia just because. And he's also terrible. Thus ends another extremely subpar draft for the Seattle Sea Cattle. The limitations absolutely killing us now, of course, that we are stuck where we are. It's just, oh man, to the re-sign phase we go. Or at least want to get this team set up for next year. I'm not sure what we're going to look like. Probably quite similar to what we looked like last year. I don't know if we'll let anybody walk out of spite. Let's find out. So goaltenders, Oshie's still signed to a big-time deal. Evanoff we can let go of, but we will sign Leclerc. Just that we have 2 goaltenders that are actually our property, for lack of a better term. Defensively, Jesus Christ in a handbasket. All right, O'Donnell doesn't want to re-sign. Don't blame you, buddy. He wants 6 years, which we might as well give him. Let's go 6 years at $11 million per. And we might run into some severe cap trouble here. And people wondered why I was still doing the 85% trick. It's because of moments like this where it's going to get a little bit shaky. Reza doesn't want to re-sign. Let's go 6 years at $9 million. Or 3 years at $9 million. Sorry, I'm still thinking of O'Donnell. Of course, Miele might walk as a free agent. Parker, Jesus. Let's go 4 years at $7.5 million. And see if that's enough. Man, this sucks. Bishop, we're going to wait. Ma, it doesn't even matter. Oh my god. Who do we have for forwards? Sutter, Rogalski. Okay, we should be okay, maybe. See if I can re-sign Bishop here. Thankfully, Bishop for once isn't looking for the fucking sun and the moon. 3 years at $2.25. Ma, we're going to hold off on. Bernard can be let go of. Is Kovalchuk ours? He is. He's 19. I'm going to sign him. He might be AHL eligible. Prosser is 20. So we'll sign him as well. So that's nice. Tallinder, we might as well sign you. You know, that way we don't have to bring in as many no-names. Sutter. Thankfully not, again, looking for a ton. Let's go 3.8 over 1 year. Rintoul, I'm going to hold off on for now. DeSantis is just not good. I'm going to sign him, but yeah, yikes. Matthews, no thank you. Ballard, you can go. Bonks, you can go. Forelli can go. And Crane can go. What a shitty situation. Left wings, Rogalski needs a contract. We'll go 3 by 7.8 as a start. Redden we're going to hold off on. Benoit Garou can be let go of. Boro, we'll bring... You're shit. You're so bad. Let's let go of you. Trotter, I'm not even going to bother. And, yeah. God damn. It's been so bad for us. And then centers, we'll look to bring back Hamhuis. We'll look to bring back Volk after an amazing postseason for him. 1 year, 2 mil. Janik will hold off on. Reasoner will hold off on for the moment. So let's see what happens with these initial offers, just to see what we are dealing with. My God, it's a sauna in this room too, so it doesn't help. It doesn't help. All right, Bishop rejected. I'm just going to spam through a couple of rejecteds, as you would have expected. Really, it happens every year. We'll see what the cap situation is here now for the second round of offers. 45 million still, so that's nice, but also it means that quite a few players would have rejected, including O'Donnell. So the goaltending set. Defensively, O'Donnell, let's go to 11.8. That should hopefully be enough. To be honest, I am so tempted to let Mile go to try and get an extra draft pick. Oreza, we're going to go up to 9.5, which is way too much for you. And we'll go 9.4. Bishop, 3 years at 2.5. Is that enough? Hopefully. We'll hold off on signing Ma. It's just he's not good. That's the problem. He represents our best call-up option, but he's hot. You know, just go away. Just go away. I don't even want you. You're a reminder of our draft failures. Rintoul will hold off on. I'm trying to get all the UFAs signed. Rogalski. Let's go 3 years at 8.25. A little bit more. That's fine. Again, none of these players are worth signing. And then centers, Hamhuis. Let's go 2.5 for you. We'll give Volk the same thing. So we will have the money to re-sign everybody, thankfully. Had we drafted a little bit better, had we had the ability to draft a little bit better in the past few years, it might have been a little bit more of a cap crunch. Obviously not the case at the moment. So let's move forward another day. Hopefully no one rejects. Please. Hopefully Bishop is the only one. Okay, so at least everybody else that was a major piece has re-signed. We are down to $15 million just like that. So, case in point, a little bit better players. Even then, it's going to be a little bit of a cap crunch with some of the guys we have left to re-sign. So, Bishop, let's go up to 3 mil over 3 years, which is way too fucking much for you, but we have to do what we have to do to bring you back. Mile, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with you. Rintoul, you're being a tool. Let's go up to 2.5. That better be enough, or I will let go of you because fuck you. That's why. Redden, you're not great, but we'll try to bring you back. And then centers, Janik. Again, you're not really a great player, but we'll try to bring you back. Reasoner as well. Be reasonable, buddy. Hey. All right. So, legitimately with Mile, just he disappointed just such a ridiculous level in the playoffs that it might honestly be worth just letting him go as a restricted free agent and just getting some sort of compensation. It makes our team weaker on paper, but it's not like he was great. Everyone else accepted their deals, so it's just Melee that we have to worry about. The problem is, though, of course, we don't have anybody coming up in the pipeline that's better than him. So that would be weakening our team, and we still just have to go for it and hope to get lucky. So we'll look to bring him back. I knew he'd be looking for a shitload of money. He does want to re-sign, though. So I'm going to try 3 years at 7.5 and hope that that's good enough. And I think he was the last person with an expiring deal. He was. So we'll see if he gives us a little bit of a discount. I don't think the full 85% trick would have worked, but just a slight discount would be nice. And then we can move on. You're an absolutely miserable fictional person, and I wish nothing but ill will and harm towards you. I really do. I'm not afraid to let him go to free agency. I'm not. Let's go 3x8. If I can not accidentally hit B, I mean to hit A. Let's go 3x8 for him. And we'll see what happens from there. If he doesn't accept, he's going to free agency. Alright, there we go. So, everybody's back that deserves to be back. There's really nothing we can do free agent-wise. I could sign a bunch of nobodies to contracts, but I'd rather just let the AHL roster fill itself out, really. So, we're good. We're good. Let's just get to the start of free agency, and we will take it from there. It's such a shitty situation that we find ourselves in right now. It really is. That's why I was just hopeful that we could have won the cup last year and then just moved on and tried to do what we have done in previous years, which is, hey, we managed to win the cup, or previous Draft to Glory series, where we win and then we trade away everybody, again, for the best individual draft pick, and see if we can be competitive before the series ends, before we hit the full 25 years. That didn't happen, obviously, or we'd be in much higher spirits today. So with that not happening, it's really now just a question of, can this team somehow find a way to win before Trent, Rogalski, Tunnell, before they all really start declining? Because we're very low on time. I mean, we are, what, this starts in 17, 18, and we're heading into 35, 36. We don't have a ton of time left. If we wanted to rebuild, it would have to be soon. Very, very soon. Like the next offseason, I'd say, like really this offseason would have been the time to do it, but the next offseason is probably the latest that we could afford to start it. So take a look. Champion and Moses will be sent down. Cancel, please. Thank you. And I think, yeah, we're good to go. I mean, this is it. The team is exactly the same. I think I'm going to go ahead and sim through this season. We might as well. As far as who's on the fourth line, it's going to be this trio because of how poor they were in the playoffs. From there, I think we're going to go... I think we're just going to spread the wealth immediately. And we're still going to go with the Volk, Bengoa, Sutter. We'll go Rogalski, Belfour. No, Belfour. Was it Belfour? No, it wasn't Belfour. It was Belfour and McChesney that were a pairing. So I think that's going to be the team moving forward. We're going to have the Bengoa line, a very strong second line, Ham, Hughes, McChesney, and Belfour. We'll see how that works. And then defensively, Wakabayashi and Mile are immediately on the third pairing. We know they don't work well together, but they don't work well with anybody else. We'll have Reza O'Donnell, Parker, and Bishop. And then goaltending-wise, I mean, it's Oshie and Hargrave. It's the same thing. And then AHL-wise, of course, a bunch of random-ass players are going to be signed. I'm just going to make sure that our prospects are at the very least in the lineup. And then we'll take it from there. I mean, obviously this team's going to be shit because I didn't bother, signing a bunch of aging veterans for the hell of it, only to have to release them. So I could have, but really it would have been a waste of time at this point. It was fun to do early on, but yeah, it's just extra added time at this stage. So some people, argue whether or not having players in the the higher lines is worth it. I'm at least going to do that for the sake of dropping these guys down. And we are good. Maybe. Let's have Davison. The Davison on a higher line. So with that, this team, these teams in general, are set. I think I'm going to just set the captaincy really quick for the hell of it. And then we'll get to simming this season. And if it's clear that we're not a playoff team by the draft, there may be a tough decision that we have to make. I'm going to give Sutter an alternate over Tennell. And defensively, I mean, O'Donnell's the only one that deserves a letter. So that's our leadership core heading into this year, and then down in the AHL, just for the hell of it. Why not? Let's... one of these points, though, I'm going to have to show you guys the... I don't even think I bothered with the arena, but needless to say, the Tacoma Doma, the home arena of the Tacoma Evergreens, will never see any significant playoff hockey, which is unfortunate. Let's give Tallinder an alternate. Why not? Out of the 3 defensemen. And then forward-wise, let's go with Champion and Redden. They've both been on the team for quite a while. Why not? You can lead what is guaranteed to be the worst team. I don't know how the hell they're listed as contenders with so many, with that defense being as bad as it is. Scouting-wise, let's get it set. The sim will begin. And like I said, if it's clear at the deadline that we're terrible, even though we haven't won, maybe that's the time that we decide to pull the trigger and try to, not necessarily, essentially wave the white flag on winning with our initial core, but then trying the hot fix of winning before we're out of time and rebuilding before we're out of time. So let the new season begin. A swig of Arnold Palmer to new beginnings, and to hopefully a team that doesn't suck. Delicious. Delicious. A 3-1-2 postseason. Never mind, make that 3-2-2. But hey, it worked out. We at least won a couple of games, so that's good. Admittedly, as if I didn't have anything to talk about normally, I certainly don't have anything to talk about or discuss as we sim through here, because it's just sitting here waiting, just nervously, patiently waiting to see the results of what we're doing, and whether or not this team is a playoff team. That's what it comes down to. Are we a playoff team? Yes or no? And if this team as it stands isn't a playoff team, that is the time that, again, we either just wave the white flag or we continue on and just progressively watch the Trent Bengoas of the world get worse. The problem is, though, if you talk about it, like, who the hell would we want to get rid of? It's not that I want to trade Bengoa, Rogalski, Tennell, Jonas, but as long as we have them on our team, we're never going to finish in such a bad spot unless we get lucky with the lottery to get a top 10 pick, and that's where the game changers reside. So, as it stands right now at 10, 11, and 2, we are very much not a playoff team. We really need to start losing more games in overtime and in shootouts if we want a chance to make it. That will be the difference maker, those pity points that might just see us sneak into the playoffs like we did last year. If this team sneaks into the playoffs, they have shown the ability, at least they showed the ability last year, to win some games. Whether or not that'll be the case, I don't know. And right now, it's not looking like it. It's really not looking like this team's going to have what it takes, which is a damn shame. I think at the end of December here, if not sooner, I'm going to take a look at the Lions, maybe try to change things up, but let's be honest, we kind of know what we're going to end up seeing, right? What players are going to disappoint? It's more than likely going to be the usual suspects. It's January 3rd as I hit the stop button. I'm not sure if it'll sim this game against Minnesota. It's not looking like it. Tacoma's actually won more games than I would have ever thought. Let's take a look at the team. Manny Jonas leading the way. We're on 31 points. It takes 42 right now to be in a playoff spot. It's not looking good. Volk, Bengoa, and Sutter, it's not working. The second line is okay, but still, let's just optimize these lines. We'll go really on paper with the best lines possible, in a way. Let me guess. Yeah, Jesus Christ, they're so bad. They are so bad. And that third line was getting killed as well. It's over. It's over, guys. Our hopes and dreams of winning with this core, it's not gonna happen. There's just no way. Joshua Oshie is the only reason why we're not the worst team in the league. It's just not gonna happen. Unless a miracle happens here, it's over. The dream is over. This core, we ended up building up a half-decent core, but then the well ran dry, and we ended up being a few pieces short. I don't think like a Joseph Hainsey at this point would have helped. That was where the dream died. That's the move that you can look back on to say this is where it ended, and this was the turning point for the worse, is when we unfortunately didn't have any good players eligible to take with those extra picks from the Joseph Hainsey offer sheet. That's where it went downhill. And we just couldn't recover. Just having no eligible players. Now again, it was meant to be a difficult series. We were never meant to find success, but to have gotten so close. To have gotten so close, to have built a half-decent team, to have gotten to the conference final in the last episode, it's a heartbreaker. It is. It is. I think the greatest moment in this franchise's history will be that Game 6. That Game 6 winner from Trent. The pass in front. That right there was the peak of being a Sea Cattle fan. Is that we were going to Game 7 against the Jets. And it just didn't happen from there. So we are going to sim to the 29th. We will take a look at the team from there. If we still have an outside chance at the playoffs, we'll go for it. If not, we'll stop the episode, and the conversation then changes to what our options are. Really. And whether or not we try to go for that quick rebuild. Again, trading picks-wise, I'd still only want to go with the best or trading players-wise, I'd still really only want to go with the best one-for-one value. Like ripping the AI off. I mean, we know I can for the most part. Just whether or not that kind of ruins it. We're on 60 points. It takes 69 to be in the playoffs. With 20 games to go, we're 9 points back. Is it worth waving the white flag? Is it worth waving the white flag? Is it worth contemplating moving on and letting go of some of these players? I don't know if I'll let go of a Tunnell, but Trent's 34 years old. Like, just how much of a rebuild? Like, Belfour, Sutter, they'd for sure be gone. Defensively, I'd move Wakabayashi and Miele because they've just been such huge disappointments. I'm not sure what moves I'd make, really. There's a lot to contemplate. And that might not even be the way we decide to go. We might just go down with the ship over the last few years. We're going to end it here. I want to know your opinion on what you think we should do for the rest of the series. The next episode, it's looking like it'll be a draft episode, but it could be a trade-heavy episode as well. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry for the depressing tone to this episode, but it's not without merit. It's deserved, really. Again, thank you for watching. You know what to do to support the video and the channel, as all great YouTubers and shit YouTubers alike will tell you. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, notification bell, all the stuff. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Goodbye.